Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for convening this incredibly important hearing. Ms. Foster, the Texas law doesn't start at 22 weeks. Is that correct in terms of its restriction?
That is correct.
It starts at 6 weeks. Is that true?
It does.
Okay, so I'm not really certain what the prior conversation was about.
Would the gentleman yield?
No, I won't. If under the Texas abortion ban, someone who misses that 6-week window would be forced to carry their pregnancy to term, even if they were raped. Is that correct?
Under the Texas law, that the protections for the mother and for the child start with that detection of the heartbeat at 6 weeks. Yes.
Right. So there is no exception beyond the 6-week period for rape, correct?
You know, when we're talking about rape, it is a horrible tragedy, period. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about that, and we need to rid the world of those kinds of actions. But nowhere in our justice system is there ever a time when the innocent has to pay for the crime of another, for the crime of the father. The killing of a baby for the crimes of his or her father is never justice. In fact, that's injustice.
All right. The question is there a rape exception? The answer is no. And the question, that's interesting because you were talking with my former colleagues about public sentiment. Is the absence of a rape exception popular amongst the American people or even the people in the great state of Texas?
Yes, 55% of Texans support the heartbeat law, let alone something as far along as 22 weeks. So yes, most Americans and most Texans do support this heartbeat law.
Yeah, that's very inconsistent, and that wasn't an answer to the question that I asked. Let's go to another particular issue. If someone misses this 6-week window and the pregnancy resulted from incest, would they still be forced to carry that baby to term?
Again, I would simply say the child does not deserve the death penalty for the father's crime. And so the heartbeat bill is protecting children from the moment that that heartbeat is detected.
Right, so there's no incest exception in the Texas so-called statute. Is that correct?
Wouldn't that fall under rape as well?
It's a yes or no question.
Correct.
Is there an incest exception? Yes or no?
There is no specific incest exception, but the child does not deserve to die because of the crime of a father.
Okay, Professor Bridges, let me ask you a question, picking up on a theme that my colleague Karen Bass was pursuing with you in terms of criminalization. And would the outlawing of abortion and restricting the reproductive freedom of women, as is being done in a very extreme and draconian way in Texas, would that have a disproportionately adverse impact on Black women?
Absolutely. And this is true for a number of reasons. One, Black people disproportionately bear the burdens of poverty. So that means, two, that they have higher rates of unintended pregnancy, which is the main reason why people choose to exercise their constitutional right to terminate a pregnancy. Moreover, if they do not have the right to legally terminate a pregnancy, that means that people will resort to things that have been criminalized. We know, just look across the country, that even though we have race-neutral criminal statutes that are supposed to apply to everyone equally, people of color are those who are disproportionately arrested, indicted, convicted, incarcerated under our criminal laws. And so any criminal law we can expect to have a disproportionate impact on people of color.
Well, thank you very much. And just in closing, I know my colleague talked about the issues in terms of the Supreme Court. I respect all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle as we debate and discuss all of these issues. But part of the challenge that many of us have with this current extreme right-wing Supreme Court is that engineered by Mitch McConnell, he stole not one, but two Supreme Court justices. One from President Obama and the other from President Biden. explicitly to jam these type
The
of
gentleman's time has
extreme laws
expired.
down the throats of the American people. Thank you very much, and I yield back. Mr. Chairman, Jerry Nadler.